Alright, so now we're gonna get into the CDs. I got six rows, so I'm gonna do it by rows. So it'll be 6 videos, and then, as I get more, I'll do updates. I've been getting stuff pretty consistently, so do updates, hopefully like 8 to 10 at a time. So yeah, do the first shelf. I'm gonna go through them. They're kind of organized. The first 3 shelves are all gonna be New York based. By the way, I'm sorry if I'm sounding like I'm being a little quiet. I got people in my house trying to sleep and shit. It's like it's late at night. I don't even know what fucking time it is. But alright, let's get into this shit. Like I said, this first shelf here is gonna be New York. And I kind of have it by like groups and like years. So start out here. Run DMC's debut album, self-titled. Fucking classic, man. This is probably my second favorite Run DMC album, but this album holds up fucking great over time. The beats in this are so fucking dope. And then here's their second album, King of Rock. Came out in '85. Again, really good album. Out of the first 3, though, this is probably my least favorite. By the way, these are all like the Digipack remasters. I don't even think, actually, there's no way that, when these came out, there were CD releasings for them. So yeah, these are like the Digipack reissues. Pretty cool. And then here's their third album, Raising Hell, another classic. And we have LL Cool J's Radio. Again, another classic album. Adds a lot in hip hop, can't really go wrong with that. There's a second album, Bad, Bigger and Deafer. This is definitely a step up in my opinion from Radio. Although Radio is considered like, one of the main, starting hip hop album. I mean, it came out in '85, so it was a pretty big deal. This one came out, I believe, a year later, '86. And it's real dope too. And then we have Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill. First album. Don't really have much to say. Pretty classic shit. Eric B and Rakim. Their first album, Paid in Full, from '87. One of the best hip hop albums of all time. I mean, Rakim is just so fucking nice, man. One of the best MCs in my opinion. Here's his debut solo album from '97, The 18th Letter. This is a classic, man. Double disc. Dope shit. Public Enemy's first album, Yo Bum Rush the Show. Really dope. I haven't checked out too much, Public Enemy shit, but I have listened to this album in full. It Takes a Nation, a Million to Hold Us Back. This album is great, man. Really dope. And then Fear of a Black Planet, Public Enemy. The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, his debut album from '88. This album is iconic. Meant so much to hip hop, man. Now we're gonna get into some Juice Crew shit, starting with Marley Marl, In Control Volume 1. Yeah, man, Marley Marl was pretty much like the founder of, some of the greatest MCs in history's careers. Like, starting to get into these guys now. Here's Biz Markie, Going Off. This is a dope fucking album, man. I don't care what anyone says. I prefer this album over Big Daddy Kane's first album. I really do. I love this album. I know Biz Marquie's not like the greatest on the mic or anything, but his flow is just so fucking good. This album is really difficult to find. For whatever reason, it was never reissued. This is the Biz Marquie's second album, The Biz Never Sleeps. Again, really dope shit, man. Was actually really fortunate to find this in one of my local record stores, but this one actually got reissued. And then here's Big Daddy Kane, Long Live the Kane debut album. Again, another classic, iconic hip-hop album. You know, definitely one of the greatest MCs of all time, in my opinion. And then here's his second album. I have to get more of his shit. I only have his first 2 albums. It's a Big Daddy thing here. Again, you cannot go wrong, really, with anything he ever puts out. Kool G Rap and DJ Polo. This is their first album, Road to the Riches. This album is fucking awesome, man. It's so hard to find too. You know, even the reissues, which I have, the double digipacks. I was so fucking happy to find this. I love Kool G Rap. Probably in my top 5 MCs of all time. Like, I just fucking love Kool G Rap. This is probably my favorite out of the 3 that he put out with DJ Polo. Live and Let Die. On the Run, man, one of my favorite songs. Just so fucking badass. I don't have Wanted Dead or Alive. I had a chance to get the OG copy, the solo CD, but I have these 2 digipacks, so I'm gonna wait for the digipack of that one. And then here's Kool G Rap's first solo album, 456. Straight gangster shit, man. Fucking love this. Take 'Em to War. This album is just, oh man, look at that. No drugs, no guns. I mean, so fucking dope, man. Hardcore gangster shit. Criminal Minded, Boogie Down Productions. 9mm Goes Bang. One of the most iconic songs ever. Again, KRS-One. So nice on the mic. And then here's KRS-One solo album, KRS-One. I have to get Return of the Boom Bop, man. That album's out of print. It's pretty tough to find. I got Next too. I have to get a bunch more of this shit. EPMD, you know, Strictly Business. Can't go wrong. Debut album. Yeah, so fucking dope. EPMD's second album, Unfinished Business. Again, really fucking dope. Getting into some Death Squad here. Redman. I know Redman's from Newark, New Jersey, but I put him in here because, you know, I could put him really with the Wu-Tang shit, or I could, you know, because he's affiliated with Meth, or I could put him with the Death Squad shit. So I decided to do that. I consider his first 3 albums all classics. You know, I'll actually just show them all together. There they all are. You know, you got, of course, What, the album. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. There's a Dark Side and Muddy Waters. My preference, probably Muddy Waters is my favorite, then What, the album, then There's a Dark Side, but they're all fucking dope. What, the album is probably the most, like, funky type shit. I don't know, man. I could listen to any of those all day. Keith Murray, debut album, The Most Beautiful Thing in This World. Another really fucking great album, man. People don't talk about Keith Murray enough, but he's so dope, in my opinion. You know, this is not a masterpiece, in my opinion, or anything, but it's really fucking good, man. I actually prefer this album, Enigma, more than his first album. This album is so sick. This was released in '96. You can't go wrong with that shit, man. Das EFX, speaking of boom bop, Das EFX, Dead Serious, you know, founded by EPMD. I actually have their second album coming in, Straight Up Suicide, but this is their debut album, Dead Serious. Very fucking sick album, man. Like, you can't go wrong with any of this shit. Look at that, man. Dope shit. Really dope. Ultramagnetic MCs, The Four Horsemen. You gotta stop slacking. I don't have, you know, their first album, which is like a fucking classic. I can't even think of the name right now. Critical Beatdown. It's a fucking classic. I have to get that, but this is another just unbelievable album, man. I've only listened to this once, so like I'm not like too familiar with it, but I really like what I heard. And then here is Kool Keith, Dr. Octagon, Dr. Octagonologist. Again, to be honest, I like the beats more in this than like anything else. There's too many like skits and shit. I don't know. I couldn't get into this album. I listened to like a few, like half of it, and I don't know. I gotta give this album another try. De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. Again, pretty classic shit. You can't really go fucking wrong with that, man. Again, you gotta get more De La Soul shit. This collection's a work in progress, so Third Base, the Cactus CD, the Cactus album. Haven't really listened to that, but I've heard, pretty great things about it. Gangstar's Hard to Earn. This is where, in my opinion, they start getting in their like moment of truth form. Like they're really fucking starting to figure out who they are, and I actually have Step in the Arena and Daily Operation on the way. I still need to get the first one, but this album is fucking awesome, man. I know some people prefer this one over Moment of Truth. Most people probably prefer Moment of Truth over this, but you can't go wrong either way. I mean, the song Mass Appeal is one of my favorite fucking hip-hop songs of all time. Yeah, this is dope. 4 years later, of course, they came out with this masterpiece. Me personally, I prefer this one, but I can understand why someone would prefer Hard to Earn. They're both fantastic albums. I'm a huge fucking Gangstar fan. I love Gangstar, man. It's so sad that Guru's gone. I don't even fucking like to talk about that because I've been a Gangstar fan for quite a long time. Yeah, man. I mean, almost every song on this is a banger. Jeru the Damager, Sunrises in the East. Again, I fucking love this album. It's not a very long album. It's not even 40 minutes long, but pretty much every song is just so fucking good. His flow is just so unique. Like there's really, I've never really heard anything or anyone like him. But yeah, man, this album is dope. Then Wrath of the Math, 97 again. Another really dope album. It's not quite as good as the first one, but it's still, a really fucking good album. And then speaking of Gangstar, we affiliates now. Group Home with their debut album, Living Proof. This album was produced almost entirely, if not entirely, by DJ Premier. I'm not sure if he produced every single song, but I know he did, pretty much all of it. And this was the only Group Home album that he did beats for, or at least most of them. The other albums after this, people don't really talk about as much because, he wasn't as much a part of it, but the beats on this are fucking insane. Group Home, not the best group or anything, MC-wise, but, the beats make this album a classic. Afu-Ra, Body of the Life Force. People do not talk about Afu-Ra enough because I think he's really fucking dope. Shit, he's got like a soft voice. I couldn't understand, I guess, why he's not talked about as much as like Jeru or like some of the other dudes, but like, I don't know, man. Afu-Ra, this album is fucking dope. He made his first appearance on Wax, actually on Sunrises in the East, 6 years prior to this, so this was a long time coming for him, and it's a dope album. Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory, again, pretty classic shit. You can't go wrong ever. Some of the smoothest, best flow, Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, I mean, come on. Midnight Marauders, I actually prefer this one. I know I might be
you know.